Dewan B. Black History Commercial, take 1.
And in comes the 2 to the 3 and 4.
Hold up. Celebrate our warriors and scholars. Black history on a t-shirt. Black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. Yeah. Mothers of the movement, our scholars. Instead of wearing a sports jersey with someone else's name on your back, celebrate our leader's name on your chest.
Say it with your chest.
Get yours now at hotepish.com/shop. Free shipping on all orders over $75. Also, get your Black American Music Family Tree at incenseandashtrays.com/shop. 400 years of music created here in North America exclusively by Black Americans on one piece of artwork.
Welcome to Hotep-ish, intelligent-ish talk, intelligent shit talk. We are here live on YouTube. We on YouTube, right?
Yes, sir.
We on Caffeine, right?
Yes, sir.
If you're on YouTube, make sure you download the Caffeine app, because that's where you get your notifications. Hell, the people on YouTube right now, they're not going to see that message until they will see the replay. So, yeah, YouTube be sending notifications out. I did a video last week on YouTube. I got my people with the wrench, the people that mod the channel get notifications 27 minutes into it. YouTube, y'all be on that fuck shit. That's why I be on the Caffeine app right now, because Caffeine don't be on that fuck shit with it. You know, the people on the Caffeine app got their notifications. You dig? Mm-hmm. So we here. It's a lot of things that we're going to talk about today. We're going to cover a lot of things. Just, you know how we do it, things going on in the news. If I feel like it later on, I'll take some calls, but y'all know I do this shit off the top of my head. If the spirit speak through me and I'm on a tangent, I ain't talking to none of you niggas. But, you know, if the spirit releases itself from me, you know, and there's a little bit of time left in the show, I'll take a few calls. Yeah, what's up, everybody in the chat room? But we here talking about some stuff. First of all, I want to celebrate the upcoming anniversary of Thriller, the Michael Jackson Thriller album. All time, according to record sales. Yeah. Now, my favorite Michael Jackson record, like black folks' favorite Michael Jackson record, is Off the Wall. That's kind of, I go so far as say 80% of black people are going to take Off the Wall as their favorite Michael Jackson album. But Thriller is still one of the greatest albums of all time. You dig? Yeah. And I did a dope breakdown. You can find it on my YouTube channel yesterday with me and Dr. Randy Short. We did a full historical context of the Thriller album and why it's selling over 100 million copies was so significant. Because, you know, we talked about the record industry going back to the 50s and the 60s and how every 20 years or so, the record does something, the record industry does something to pull the carpet from under black artists, you know? Yeah. Like in the 60s, in the 50s, late 50s, black music was the thing. You had Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Jackie Wilson, and you had all of these black artists that were dominating the airwaves. So basically what they did was, during the early 60s, they changed the way records were played and what was allowable to be played, allowing more, you know, pay-to-play type things to come into the industry to make it disadvantageous for black artists. And then at the same time, then you bring in the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and these groups, and you basically bring these white groups from Europe that play black music to take the airways and not allow black artists to get any chance at radio play. That's what they did during the 60s. And then Motown came out. Motown made music so goddamn good, you had to play it. Now they would never let Motown songs, well, until the Supremes. They would never let a Motown song hit number one. Motown music always hit number two, even though 60 years later, You Better Shop Around is a song even you niggas in your 20s have heard. And the songs that went number one during that time, you ain't never heard of. Yep. So they've always done stuff like that with us. You know, Motown kind of kicked the door down, and then you had the late 60s, and then you got the 70s, Philadelphia International, all those black-owned record labels, VJ Records. People don't even know VJ Records. Actually, the first group that gave the Beatles their breakout hit was actually a black-owned label called VJ Records, owned by Sister Mary D. Williams. Do you know Mary D. Williams is also the first black female DJ in American history?
No.
Do you know Mary D. Williams was also using a 2 turntable system in the 50s? So for all the motherfuckers coming from Jamaica, talking about something, we brought sound system culture and 2 turntables, you can look up pictures of Mary D. Williams on 2 turntables in the 60s when she was the first black female DJ. You dig? And so you got that, but she founded, her and her brother founded a record label called VJ Records. And they gave the Beatles their first hit, Shake 'Em Up Baby, Twist and Shout. And those songs were released. And so what happened was those songs got to be so big, it was either Capital or Columbia. Don't quote me, y'all, because I'm dyslexic. 2 C's, goddammit. I can never be a Crip.
Damn.
A nigga be a Crip or a Blood. I'll be fucking all. I'll be getting beat up by my own set, saying the wrong goddamn gang name. It's either Capital or Columbia. It was one of them big ass white. I think it was Capital. They saw that black-owned record label making all that money with the Beatles, and they sued them to high heavens because they had the Beatles first and passed on them. And so they sued the black-owned Sister Mary D. Williams. They sued her company and basically sued them out of business and took the Beatles back.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just what they do with our music. And then as you get into the mid-'60s, you got Mirwood Records. That's where Barry White got his start. What's his name? Not Sam Cooke, Bobby Womack, Mr. James Carmichael. That's where they all got their start at Mirwood Records. All these black-owned record labels through the 60s and the 70s. So when people be like, black people, what we need to do is we just need to come together and get our own music. Study history, dumb nigga. It's been unhappened 15,000 times over. So we back in control of the music industry, not the music industry, but our music. James Brown had his own distribution and his own record printing press, you know? Mm-hmm. And so that's why black music, that's why my favorite era of black music is the 60s and the 70s, because that was the last time that we owned and controlled and distributed our sound. At one point, do you know that Motown had 6 out of 10 records being sold internationally was coming straight from Motown only for a long time? It was Motown and then the rest of America. That's how dope shit is. We had shit when we controlled it, you know? Mm-hmm. Well, as you get into the late 70s, they started pulling back. They started fucking with black-owned labels, the distribution. They started fucking with the distribution. The oil shortage caused the price of printing vinyl records to go through the roof. It was a lot of things that went on systematically. And then the money got tight. You had the mass recession, that the recession that basically got Jimmy Carter ousted and brought in Ronald Reagan in the early 80s. That's the reason why Reagan came in, because the economy was fucked up. Well, the first thing that got messed up was black-owned music, black music labels. And, you know, in those black-owned music labels, where you're talking about Gambling Huff, Philadelphia International, Motown, when we did our music back then, it was very expensive to produce because every song had a full orchestra behind it. You know, so it's not like today where a nigga just sit down in his drawers and put together a beat on a little ass box. It wasn't that. You had to pay arrangers to write the arrangements. You had to pay these 32-piece orchestras to play these arrangements. And what if that arrangement don't fit with the song? You got to cut it, write a new arrangement, and pay him again to come in to make it work, you know?
Yeah.
So it was very expensive to produce the music. Parliament Funkadelic had 17 members. You know, Earth, Wind & Fire had 12. You know, the Ohio Players had like 9. And, you know, and then you still got orchestration behind it, producers, roadies, stage show. So I said all that to say the black record industry, the record industry overall took major hits. Even white-owned record, smaller labels had to go out of business. And so when you get into the early 80s, they effectively basically canceled out. What you see is, you know, they didn't re-sign Chic. They kept the producers, like Nile Rodgers stayed, but Chic, the singers, the 2 women, they had to go. The Emotion, Maurice White stayed, the producer, but the Emotions, Denise Williams, the black artist basically didn't get re-signed. and they would re-sign white artists to sing black music. So when you listen to a song like a Virgin from Madonna, that's Chic. That's Nile Rodgers and Dennis, not Dennis Edwards. Dennis Edwards is a singer. Bernard Edwards on bass. That's them doing a song that they would have given to Chic. But since the record industry basically kicked out all the black artists, here's this white woman singing this soul music. That's why white music in the 80s is some of the best music ever. You got Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Phil Collins has Earth, Wind & Fire as his band. People don't understand that. The reason why it sounds so good, that's the Phoenix Horns from Earth, Wind & Fire playing behind that shit. Wham. All these groups, all of those soul bands of the 70s, the musicians. Confunction, all of them, they started the ones, most of them just went out of business and had to become school teachers or some shit. Most of them couldn't do music anymore. But for the ones that stayed, they stayed around for white artists. MTV was strangling because back then in the early 80s, if you wanted to pop off musically, you had to be on MTV. Rick James fought for years to get black people on MTV. They never gave him a video. They would not play black artists on MTV. So if you're not on MTV, you have no shot at going number one. This is the environment that went in that's leading up to 1982 to release Michael Jackson's Thriller. Black music was supposed to be canceled out. And if they did have black music, it was that corny ass 80s shit. That all that, baby, come to me. Wanna wrap my arms around you, disconnect. That shit. The song was cool, but the shit was corny. I like Peebo Bryson, but you know, with that big forehead, that big ass box shag haircut he had, the shit was corny. That's what they wanted black music to be, corny ass shit like, hello, is it me you're looking for?
Not Lionel.
And I don't want to say that because it's not great. Look, man, my father-in-law made a lot of money off. He produced that song. You know, he made a lot of money off that shit. But his favorite form of music to produce was funk. He also produced Brick House. He would have did way more music like Brick House if that's where the money was. But the money was in the corny shit. So, hey, let's make the corny shit and make the money. That's where it was. This is the environment that went into Michael Jackson in 1982. So he comes in with the first song on the album. That Michael Jackson, he came out wanting trouble. He said, first song on the album, wanna be starting something, got to be starting something. Like, Michael Jackson, you open this album with violence, nigga? Nigga, Michael was like, ready, let's go. Oh, and later this week, Mortonette Stevens, she was a background singer on Want to Be Starting Something. I'm going to interview her. She was the one singing, Mama say, Mama sa, Mama kusa. So everybody don't know what that, it's all been a debate over what were they singing. We're going to get the answer. We're going to get the answer from the lady who was actually singing it on the album. So you caffeine niggas don't know. I know people in this motherfucker. I had this on Flash. Y'all about to get a whole lot from me, goddammit. And also next Tuesday, I got my man Isaiah Washington coming down. He has a movie he just shot about Bass Reeves. He wrote and produced it, and he released it independently. So next week, we're going to have Isaiah Washington down here talking about his new movie, The Bass Reeves Story. You dig? Well, anyway, back to we talking about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson came through with Quincy Jones, Wah-Wah Watson on guitar. Man, the all-star cast of musicians on that album. I mean, we're going to break all this down on Incense and Ashtrays on Friday night when I do my live music mix down. We're going to play the Thriller album from top to bottom. I'm going to tell you all the musicians that were on the part of the project. You had string arrangements by Paul Reiser. You had Greg Fillinganes, Louis Johnson on bass. I mean, just the greatest all-star cast of musicians you've ever heard. So I'm bringing all that shit down on my Incense and Ashtray show on Mixcloud. So follow that shit too. You dig? But Michael Jackson sold all those albums and did what he did at a time the music industry was purposely trying to crush black music. They did not want black music. MTV said, we're not playing black music videos. You know what I mean? The radios, all the record labels was like, okay, we'll sign these black producers, but you motherfuckers going to have to produce for these white folks over here, make their music. That was the environment of 1982. And in spite of all that, Michael Jackson did what he did. So I encourage you to go back and watch my YouTube video yesterday, Thriller 40, with me and Dr. Randy Short, really breaking it down. We went 3.5 hours, Sarah, breaking all this shit down. 3 hours, not 3.5, 3 hours. That's how much information is in this shit. And we still didn't even get all the way into it, you know?
And that's dope, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I know MTV and these other stations, they're gonna be celebrating Michael Jackson, but these crackers always got some shit up their sleeves. And I ain't talking about I ain't calling every white person that. I'm talking about the ones that's in control of the TV programming. Mm-hmm. Those motherfuckers. Because, you know, they're gonna say one thing good about Michael Jackson and then turn around with like, well, he was accused of this. Well, he did say that. And he was a little weird. Meanwhile, you got these people that basically run all these goddamn networks. Remember 2016, all them pedophilia shit coming out on the. Remember that when the Me Too shit first started, when Kevin Spacey and all these, they don't say nothing about them motherfuckers.
No, but they still getting work.
Michael Jackson got followed by the FBI for 20 years, nothing. Got found innocent, nothing. Even the Supreme Court a couple years ago threw out everything like, it ain't nothing here.
No, but the court of public opinion is one that people, due to social media, has been what everybody judges you on anyway now.
The
court, they know that.
Yeah, the court of public opinion is a court of idiots. Mm-hmm. Because their opinion is based on things that they didn't take any time to read past the headline on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The court of public opinion is based on a movie, and a movie that was based on something that was thrown out in court because it was a lie. The court said this shit's a lie, so you can't know. We're not even gonna see this shit. They said, "Oh, let's go ahead and make a movie about it." And you got people who watched a movie. It wasn't even a documentary.
Thank you.
They were smart enough to not even put documentary on it. It was a movie. And you got people that watched a fucking movie and said, man, based on that movie, Michael Jackson might have did something. Oh my. You got men clutching their pearls like sissies. Fuck you problem, nigga. I don't trust these niggas, Sarah.
Oh,
I don't trust these kind of niggas.
Oprah and Gail like piss me off. Like they are, they are the worst. They are the worst because what they do to especially target black men and stuff like that in entertainment.
Yeah,
they bring you up. Like they help bring you up, and she'll interview you. You know, on Oprah's favorite things, whatever the hell she be having. But then when you're accused, she'll take her hand off of you, but at the same time, she's still partying with Harvey Weinstein.
Yep. So that's what they do. And so, you know, you got people that's basing opinions based off of a movie, something that didn't even claim. And then HBO had to end up dropping the movie because of his lies. Yep. And you got dumb niggas that still saying, well, the movie said it. Even HBO said the movie was lies, fool.
I mean, you got people thinking that JFK Jr. and JFK are still alive and about to run for president. Yeah. We live in a world of idiots.
Yeah. You're right. You're right, Sarah. And this kind of like leads me to what I'm talking about next as far as being in a world of idiots. The Kanye situation.
The segue for me. It's a segue for me.
Man, this nigga right here, man, look. Sarah, I don't even know where I want to go with this. So, Sarah, whichever one of the slides that I put up, I'm just going, whatever one you put up first, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to start there, then
we're going to go with
and
this.
Then we're going to start a story around it. Okay, we're going to start here with corporate America. Corporate America is canceling Kanye West. You see what's going on right now. These different corporations, you have Balenciaga, today, Adidas. Adidas is a Nazi company, but Kanye West is too much.
Oh, he's too much, though.
Who's next? Hugo Boss?
Ralph Lauren?
Hugo Boss literally made the Nazi uniforms, and I bet you these niggas gonna be like, well, they should be next. Whatever the fuck language they speak. Everybody canceling Kanye. You seeing this big retraction. Any more of them corporations canceling him? Yeah, Balenciaga. You had Adidas.
We have.
You had his agency, CAA.
Yep, the CAA. Let's see here.
You had Rahm Emanuel's brother. Rahm Emanuel is the person that got kicked out of D.C. for being too corrupt under the Obama administration.
Thank you. Thank you.
This dude literally took money from poor people to help build a basketball stadium in Chicago. I think it was DePaul, his brother, and the Emanuel brothers are two of the biggest thugs ever. And they're dropping Kanye because he's too much.
Oh, in the chat room, they're saying his lawyers dropped him too.
His lawyers dropped him.
And of course, we have the CAA here for it. And then we also have Def Jam.
Def Jam. So everyone's dropping.
Abort.
So that show you, yeah. And it also show you really running Def Jam, you know? So.
Who's really running Def Jam?
It ain't us. And so, no, Kanye, I know Kanye can put his music in NFTs. That probably make him even more rich, you know? And he's now in control of his brand. He knows he's in control of everything. But what I'm seeing is this. I'm seeing everybody drop Kanye, right? But you know what else I'm seeing?
What?
Put up the other tweet from D-Nice.
Yes, here we go.
It's like I'm seeing that. Okay, now I'm seeing like, White Hollywood, Chelsea Handler. She's over here calling for Adidas to drop. And then put up that IG post I have, the dark one from D-Nice, the last one I sent you.
Oh, I didn't. It didn't.
It didn't come through
over, but I will try to find it for you.
Okay,
Go ahead.
yeah, because I think my airdrop. I think I'm too far away to airdrop to you from here.
I got you. I'll find it.
And
it's D-Nice Instagram.
Yeah,
about
that
Kanye?
one. That one.
All right, hold on.
So I'm seeing all of these people separate themselves from Kanye, right? And there's another one. There's a film studio that shelved a completed $2 million Kanye West documentary.
Oh yeah, this
because they cannot support anything on their platform regarding Kanye. So we're seeing the world around Kanye.
the studio is MRC.
MRC, yeah. So again, I'm not here to say what Kanye said was right or wrong. I'm not here to either support nor shit on Kanye. I'm here to say, hey, look, man, when you talk about them folks and we know who they are, we all know there are going to be particular consequences. So my point of view is, if you're going to do that, just understand what you're getting yourself into. Make sure that you're financially in position to deal with the fallout. And from there, I just texted to you. Oh, yeah, that's it right there. Go up. I just saw you have it. Right there, that one. The one your cursor's over, that one.
Okay. Yeah, it's not letting me click on it, but I can totally go to it.
Okay.
It'll be this one right here. I support my Jewish friends and the Jewish people.
And that is from D-Nice. And I have no issues with D-Nice, but here's the reason why I use that tweet. While you have that side of America distancing themselves from Kanye, as a black man, you do know that you reserve the right to shut the fuck up. I got a question. Like, I talked about this a little bit last week, but I got to bring it up again because black men look so fucking weak right now. I'm disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed because, and it's not that I didn't know. I already know this. Look, it's gonna be somebody in the comment section after the show. They're gonna be like, DeJuan, well, you should have known. I know, you dumb nigga. That's not the point. The point is, why do black men feel a need to step up and speak for people who don't fuck with us?
Thank you.
That's all I'm saying. It's always these good Negroes. One black man do something, if one black man do something, it's 100 niggas running to the other side of the fence ready to apologize.
Chicken George niggas.
Yeah.
Like Chicken George. Mm-hmm.
Keep that in preview. That picture, keep it in preview. Don't put it up there yet. I'm glad you put that up there. Mm-hmm. Keep that in preview. That's what's coming next. You know me, Sarah. You know me now.
Yep.
Yeah, keep that in preview. That's coming next. Like, you can, like, I'm not saying Kanye should or should not have said what he said. At the end of the day, everyone is living their own life. Everybody's playing their own cards, you know? And I'm not one to tell you how to play your cards or to you know, but I'm also not one that when I see you make a move and I see non-black people ganging up on you, I don't team with non-black people on anything regarding a black person. That's off cold like hell. You can not say nothing. You could ignore it. Mm-hmm. But to team with people who hate your guts, because they see your black ass the same way they see Kanye, you just a nigga that didn't bite them yet. That's all. Mm. They still see you as a dog. But what's the relationship between humans and dogs? Humans are good with dogs under what conditions? That those dogs obey. That's when the dog is a man's best friend so long as he obeys, listens, goes and shits. Don't shit on my carpet. You know what I mean? Don't piss in my shoes. And as long as you and don't bite, don't tear up all my clothes and bite them up. As long as you behave as a dog is your best friend, right? What happens when that same dog says, I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm gonna shit in your shoes? What happens when that same dog says, you know what? I'm out. I'm gonna go walk down the street. I don't feel like fucking with you. I'm gonna go fuck with them dogs down the street and fuck on a couple bitches. What happens when a dog starts getting his own mind and developing his own mind and don't listen to his masters? Is that dog still that master's best friend?
No.
That's the relationship between black people and the rest of the world. Unfortunately, you guys know this isn't the news. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Now, I may be telling you something that you don't want to talk about, but you know. We are the dogs of America, of the world. And we're the dogs because we've accepted that role. When I say we, I mean overall. I know most of you niggas in the chat room ain't like this. I ain't like this. I know a lot of people who ain't like this. But I'm talking about 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10.
Come here, Herschel. Here, boy.
Yeah.
Here, Herschel.
Yeah, Herschel, yeah. And Warnock, both of them. They just got different masters.
Come on, bro.
Herschel's a dog. Warnock's a dog. Mm-hmm. Stacey Abrams a dog. So is Karen Bass.
Oh.
They're all dogs. Oh. They are all people. And then it's like, what happens is when one of the dogs go bad, you get the rest of the dogs trying to get them in line. And that's, you know.
Somebody say Ben Carson?
Huh?
Somebody say Ben Carson?
Ben Carson, yeah, these are dogs. They good dogs. They good boys. I come from the point of view of, I'm not a dog. I'm a man. And if me and you gonna be friends, we're gonna be friends with me being my best. With me being able to speak up for myself. With me defending myself. If me defending myself, if me sticking with other black people who are down on their luck stops you from being my friend, that means you ain't my friend.
Somebody say Obama.
Oh yeah, Obama. That weak ass nigga. Obama probably getting digged down right now. I'm sorry.
By Michelle?
She might have a strap on like, hey. But I'm the kind of person, because that's the respect I give other people.
Yeah.
You can be a Trump voter and you still have my respect as long as you don't fuck with me. You know what I mean? You can be